Hmm. Welcome to the live. Welcome to this session with me and Spirit. You should be getting a notification. I am just touching up a few more things and looking forward to doing this with you tonight as I drink some coffee. So, I found a specific card that I wanted to share with you. I did a reading, and this one kind of lit up in my thought process. So, does anybody have wind chimes where they're living, or maybe neighbors, or you hear wind chimes? Because this subject tonight kind of chimed into my thought process, and I thought that's the most peaceful and harmonious way of calming down is to listen to either meditation music or beautiful sounds. So, if you guys don't have wind chimes, I think Spirit was sending me a message today to go out and get a set. So I wanted to pass that along to you. So tonight's subject is about justice, and a lot of people don't really give themselves uh, the credit that they actually deserve for fighting for different things in life. And that could also be with family, fighting for position in life. So I wanted to bring up justice tonight. If anybody's going through something right now and has to, let's say, defend themselves or justify something, sometimes it's not necessary, but you feel that it is. And this is where your emotions get involved, because then you start getting clouded judgment. So thoughts lead to emotions, and emotions lead to action. And when I saw this today, I literally said, that's it. I am going to bring this subject up tonight. So I suggest that you write this on a mirror or a piece of paper and tape it somewhere and read this every day. I know I do. So I'm going to keep that right there with that good amethyst energy. So if you guys have had the chance to look at some of my sessions and my videos, the readings that I've done, you've noticed that I have stopped doing the crystal cards at the end. Um, a lot of crystals that I have the cards with them. And there have been quite a few people asking me about certain crystals, and just recently a few people have been buying crystals from my suggestions. So with this justice, I'm going to research that, and I'm going to post that on my Facebook. So, and it's not going to be from Google. I don't trust a lot of things from Google. So it's basically from metaphysical shops and crystal and gem professionals that actually work with gems, gemists. I don't think that sounds right, but anyways, so that's basically my intro and my thought process. Through this new deck that I have been tugging with back and forth, I decided to take the Justice card out of it and actually read that message to you, because this deck has a totally different way of sending messages from the regular tarot deck. And I find it pretty interesting. So I wanted to start that off with this deck. So with that said, with that said, yeah, we've got justice, truth, justice, boundaries. There's a lot of cards and a lot of these decks that go with this theme tonight, but I really wanted to take the time out to read this to you with that card. Just give me 1 second here. I put this card somewhere else. I must have misplaced it at the moment, but I'll find it. But the card looks, and it's basically the Justice card, the scales. Now, with this card, knowing my background of knowledge, it looks like the Emperor card, but it's not. So this is what the card looks like. So Sabata sits on the stage at a musical concert. He has carefully planted seeds and is ready to tend to the garden's growth. With his long black hair, it flows out from his crown, made of rose quartz, and his smile shows off his carefree attitude that no one is going to stop him from enjoying life. In his hand sits the scales of justice, symbolizing the knowledge of one's truth and checks and balances of the universe. He has been to the other side of the wheel and walks both in spirit realm and in physical realm. He communes with the cannabis plant's spirit for many reasons, and can lead you to find out what programs you that you're repeating, like the cycles, you're repeating the cycles. The truth is relative to your perspective, and there are always 3 sides to every story. Now, isn't that the truth? Both sides, and then the truth. Sabata will be quick to play devil's advocate to show you that he sees no right and no wrong and only seeks the truth. You are responsible for where you are at in life, and it's time to be honest with yourself. Now, that card came up today in a reading about the honesty. So this card appears in a reading with the suggestion of legal decisions or counsel that's in your favor. Take up the space and fight for your voice to be heard. If Sabata has shown himself to you, ask yourself, have I taken responsibility for all my choices? That is definitely an interesting card, but I love the messages that come out of this deck. All right. Let me go back here. All right. So, seeking clarity out of my other deck, seeking clarity, having the courage to stand up for yourself, having the strength to have the courage to stand up for yourself. It will definitely lighten your load mentally. Probably other ways too. Lighten your load. It'll damn sure give you the freedom of mental stress. Hopefully not financially. Hell, you might even find a career out of it. I just had to throw that in. And it also might have to do with family. You might be defending a family member, or you might have problems with family members. So this has a lot to do with justice as well. Because as a mother, I can tell you that I always defend my children. So you'll always be there for family no matter what. And of course, if you do have a good outcome within reason, and sometimes things can be taken out of context, and some things have to actually go to court. So that's where the justice comes in as well. So you might be either experiencing something new, and this is a new beginning of trying to do something different that you've never had to do before. This could be a positive and a negative card. So that's where the new beginnings start. But as far as boundaries go, yeah, that's where that's the lawyer's job. But this card represents the mental boundaries to do not let people cross you, and to always be true to yourself and what you stand for. So that is out of that deck. So justice alone um, is basically legal. It's justice, legal justice. So I can't really say much more than that. But um, love, health. You might be defending your love. You might be defending the way you feel about somebody. It's just justice. You always have to justify things somewhere in your life. So within the justice card, I will probably post that on Facebook too, because I really don't have a moment to get up and find that. But there's different parts of the justice card. Um, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I have certain cards that go with this new deck that I just read the description, and I have put the major arcanas inside of that deck so I could familiarize myself with it. So let me show you justice right here. All right, this is the regular justice cards that you would see in a regular tarot deck as far as a tarot reading. Okay, so the crown, then there's the sword, because it's air, it's an air sign, which is Libra. Okay, so the sword means just, and then the scales mean justice as well. I don't know if you can see that, but they're scales. So the other parts of, let me see, the other parts of this card is, let's see, the crown means new beginning. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you too was the number on the card, that's 11. That's a new beginning, because 10 means completion and 1 means a new beginning, because the 1 is the magician, but the first real card in the tarot deck is the fool. So it is means that it's new beginning. So that's why it's number 11. Let me see if I can get that to give me clarity on what I've already said, of course. La 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 la. Yep, there it is. Okay, perfect. All right, so yes, thank you very much. Yes, you just gotta love technology. All right, so the cloak. All right, it's red, and red means mercy. The justice scales means truth and balance, like I said. Okay, the sword means courage, and literally it's like Law and Order. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show before. The background here. All right, that's the colors representing wisdom and dignity. And the star on his crown means power. So the clarity of thought, life, and vitality is basically what the crown means. So this is a very favorable card for everybody, and there is consequences within judgment or within justice. But you have to learn you have to learn from every experience that you have in life. This is Libra energy, by the way, if I haven't already said that. And oh, yes, the other thing I wanted to tell you that I learned just a few days ago, actually, I actually learned something because I was just talking about the crystals. Um, this one here is emerald. This is represented by emerald. And I actually have, let me see, this is not emerald, but it's pretty damn close to it. And I had this in my pocket today. So if you guys need any clarity, or if you're going through a judgment of any kind, I would always ask that you have a piece of emerald either on you, on a ring. If you know somebody has emerald in their ring, ask them. Say, can I borrow that for a day? Justice. This is where I think it's jury duty. Yes. Has anybody ever gone through jury duty? I've been called twice in my life for jury duty. So this is another way of representing justice as well as jury duty. Anything legal. So the other deck that I wanted to go through was my tea leaf deck. And this is the storyline of a lot of cards that have justice. Almost every single deck I have has some kind of justice in it, an explanation for it. So justice is clarity. Justice, you might be getting good advice from a very wise person, and that might just be somebody that's been through jury duty or been through a case. Can give you advice, so you can definitely get advice from somebody that has experience in it, and that's the owl spirit right there, is justice. So yeah, that's pay attention to your work. Which the lion, okay, the lion is Leo, and it's time to act. That's the lion spirit. The chain of events that will affect your life. You will never forget the first time you ever have to go to court. I can guarantee you that. So stepping into a new experience, that is actually any kind of legal battle. Anything from having to take a neighbor to court or custody of a child. Anything of maybe you're suing somebody for a medical malpractice. So you're going to be stepping into a new experience. Now, this one I absolutely love. This is a picture of a turkey. And it says someone is behaving stupidly. They're being a turkey. So that means that you're going to have to take legal action against somebody that has been, maybe even if it's a car accident, it's some kind of accident on the road. Situation in the balance that requires careful handling. That might be with the lawyer. So you might be meeting with a lawyer. It says meeting with a stranger. That could be important. That might be a brand new lawyer that you just met. A throne, that's the position of authority. That could be the judge. Bird perched. Waiting for news, package, or letter. Either you've been served or you are having somebody served to go to court, maybe even as a witness. Hills. Obstacles to overcome. You might have to find witnesses. That's another good one. The bull. The bull is Taurus. There's Taurus energy. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. So if you decide to do any kind of legal action and somebody comes up to you and says, I don't really think that's a good idea. No, don't back down to what your decision has been. And as assistance, you might need a hand. You might need assistance in something legal as well. In need of help, assistance, and guidance. This is either from a friend or a lawyer. The bat spirit. Take care. Enemies are working against you. So that is the opposite side. Defendant and I can't remember what they are, which is a good thing I don't remember. Okay, the gavel right there. Involvement with the law. That's court. Rat. Someone working against you or behind your back. So the reason why I'm showing you all of these is because once you have a reading and you see that I use different decks, you'll know exactly what these really, really pertain to. And I really felt that justice was going to be served in a certain way for me about 8 months ago. So, 6 months ago. Yeah, 6 months ago. So I just hope that whatever justice that you have to justify and you have to go to court, I just wish you well with the positive outcome for sure. So the club. Sometimes someone will try to make you do something against your will. Like I said, somebody trying to convince you not to do what you feel is right. So you need to shield yourself. You need to defend yourself. Sometimes you might even want to be your own lawyer. Sometimes you won't even need a lawyer, especially in a civil suit. All right, beware of greed. Yeah, that has to do with lawyers or the person suing you for a certain amount of money. So beware of that in the paperwork. The claw, as you can see, he's taking a risk. He took a risk and now he's being caught. Be careful. Do not take any risks. The scales. Yes, the scales. Keep your life in balance. That's justice. Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goal. So you might have to go do some legwork for your lawyer because maybe they want to do something for you and it costs way too much money for that effort to be made. And let's just say, for instance, because I've had my share, is maybe there's somebody that you're pursuing, but they're out of state. So now you have to pay for a person to serve them in another state. And then I can't remember the word, but to have them brought back into the state in order to go through the court hearing. So yeah, that's basically, they got to do more footwork in order for you to win. And this also, which I just heard, witnesses. So they might have to go do some footwork and serve some people to become witnesses in a case. Pale. Time to get out of the situation. Yeah, time to dump it all out. That's another good one. Vine. Seek out information that will help you. And that has to do with the boot. Those two go together. So you might also have to do some writing and research of your own. Maybe there's something that maybe the lawyer or somebody gave you a tip, and now you have to research it before you before you actually give it to your lawyer to discuss it. You want to make sure you have your ducks in a row and you know what you're talking about. So this is a temporary. Some things are temporary. Like I said, temporary situation. That just might be something out of a civil court. You know, pay $100, take somebody to court, sue them for $50 for some damage on your property or what have you, and then it's over with. So, yeah, that's short-lived. Flag. Do not attempt to lower your standards. So the outcome. You might have a successful outcome and you might have a unsuccessful outcome. Broken, bridge, and key. So scales. Yes, in your favor, not in your favor. So this is what these two cards pretty much mean. Both sides of the scales. And then the most difficult part of the situation will be over after everything is done and over with. And Afterwards, you just might have another opportunity. You might open up some doors to new opportunities afterwards. So those are justice out of my tea leaf deck. So I wanted to share those with you. So you have to basically think before you act, think before you say, because some people can take your words and use them against you in a court of law. Gee, sounds familiar. Not really. But the other thing I wanted to tell you about justice too is about your intuition. I really want you to follow your intuition, but just do not follow through with emotions, because emotions can lead to action, but those can really bite you in some cases. So think before you act, because if your thoughts lead to emotions, and then your emotions can actually lead you into either a good or a bad situation. So these are the justice cards for this reading. The justice in this deck is basically looking in the mirror and seeing if you are really doing this for the right reasons. And out of my soul, which you guys always see, the balance card. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. That means don't get your emotions involved. Don't judge people. So with this justice card, I'm going to read this deck to you as well. Justice asks you to learn from your past experiences, the good and the bad and the fugly. Take it all in and grow from it. This energy is not about perfection, but it's about fairness and honesty. It highlights clarity of motivation and intention. And it asks you to be realistic about the cause and effect. The cause and effect of your thoughts and your actions. So seek to balance your growth and both positivity and shadow, and learn from the many different parts of you. In your current situation, be impartial, which is a part of my chakra deck. It has an impartial card. So be impartial as you reframe your reality and work to move any negative emotional charges from the equation. If fear is causing you to act in any way, that's the emotions. Just lost my place. If fear is causing you to act in any certain way, what you aren't proud of, seek a variety of perspectives before judging another person's actions to be good or bad. The only truth path ahead of you is not one that is necessarily black or white, but it is always, always one of love. So use your good karma to be a loving and motivating teacher. And that's the justice card in that deck. So I do hope that this did you some good, and maybe it gave you a little bit of clarification on how you might want to rethink things before you do something. But there is justice in every deck. These are all justice cards, and I already showed you 2 other ones. So if you see this justice card in a reading, and if you get a personal reading and it has justice in it, ask me to clarify, and I will definitely do so. All right. So don't forget, speaking of readings, I'm having a Black Friday sale, special pricing on personal readings. So go to spiritinsight.online, which is what you see right here, right there. And go to the services tab, and you will see the special pricing. And it's only for a limited time. they're going to go fast. I just know my room is going to go really fast. So if you know of somebody, you can share this out. Definitely do them some justice, and don't judge them, and don't let them judge you for sharing. So until next time, and until next live, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and I will address your comments afterwards. All right. You guys take care, and I'll see you on Facebook. Same name. All right. We'll talk soon. Love and light.